welcome to Barbarian Law, the YouTube channel. My name is Karim, and I'm the managing partner of Barbarian Law. And today we're going to be discussing something personal about why I applied to join the Army. So I applied to join the Army in 2021. We'll get to that. But first, we're going to talk about historically why I was drawn towards the Army. So I think Army families, they're much more likely to appreciate someone who is in the Army. So my dad was serving in the Army in Iran. It's forced conscription, right? In Iran, you have forced conscription, so everyone is forced to do like 1.5 years to 2 years of military duty once they turn 18. If they stay in Iran for more than 3 months, that's why a lot of people go back to visit Iran. They're over 18, they don't stay for more than 3 months. Otherwise, you'll get sent to the Army. Same with me. Now, if I go back to Iran for more than 3 months, they're going to send me to the Army. So this is a very real possibility that I need to join the Army at least. So let me do a SWOT analysis about which Army I should join, what are the benefits of joining, and what are the threats of joining, and of course the opportunities. So let's discuss. In 2021, I was convinced to join the Army. How? How did I get convinced to join the Army? First of all, the guy who convinced me was someone who goes from campus to campus and was a legit Army recruiter for the US. So these people are very inspirational, right? When they get you, especially at a vulnerable time. I was at a yoga ashram. Take that in. I was doing meditation for 1 full week. The last day before I went, I started talking to this guy and he starts recruiting me to join the Army. And we spoke for like 2 hours. That was the last place I thought I would get conscripted. So that was the US Army, and he was telling me all the benefits of working for the US Army. For example, you get cheaper mortgage rates, they pay for your school, they send you to further education, they put him through law school in West Virginia. So I was like, wow, there's so many benefits to being in the Army. So I actually applied to the Canadian Army that same day. So when I was at the ashram, I was like, yo, actually I need to do this ASAP. I need a job, I need to start working. At that time, I was working for Deloitte. I was doing some work I didn't like for them. So as soon as I got back to Bahamas, I quit that job, I resigned, right? Or actually, I said, take me off this project. So it took me like 2-3 months to get a new project. But at that same time, in my head, I was like, I'm gonna apply to the Army. Why? The guy was explaining to me, PT every morning. What does it mean, PT? Physical training. He's telling me, like, for most lawyers, they'll actually not enjoy doing the PT part. But for me, as someone who's athletic, I would enjoy the physical training and I would look forward to that. The other thing is as a lawyer, when you join the Army, you go through a different stream. So you're not going through the same stream of, like, I wouldn't call them pawns, but I guess you get a little bit of a different stream than the typical Army recruit. So I applied and they called me and I see it's like Canadian Army is calling me. I froze for a second. I thought about it. I was like, okay, not answering. Week goes on, the whole week I'm thinking about it. Should I join the Army? Canadian Army needs me. There's that. They call me again. Another chance for an interview. I was even too scared to answer. I don't even want an interview. So I think in my gut, I knew I didn't want to join the Canadian Army. Why? It's underfunded. You have to listen to a general. He decides when your life is over. Maybe not in Canada because we're mostly peacekeepers. We're not really in too many wars at the moment. But most of the wars that our country chooses to get into or not get into are not ones that I agree with. So I'm not really the type of person who likes to sacrifice my own autonomy for a cause I don't believe in. It's not really my thing. So the question becomes, do I want to serve in the Canadian Army? Is underfunded. American Army, I'm not eligible. Iranian Army, don't get me started. There's an Iranian army and then there's an Iranian government and then there's Iranian people. These are all separate factions. It's very political. So the army is very political. I don't know what they're looking for in a candidate, but personally, I'm recusing myself from consideration officially because I'm not sure that the government represents my interests. And I really need to emphasize that fighting in a war that you don't believe in is wrong. Supporting wars that you don't know what's going on is wrong. Anytime someone dies is wrong. So I don't support wars. I'm a pacifist. So ultimately, why didn't I join the army is because I'm a pacifist. Okay, so that's Barbarian Law, the story of why I almost joined the army and why I didn't. So please subscribe for more if you enjoyed and leave a comment. Thank you.